Hello, everyone. My name is Terry Brace. I'm the Vice President of Exploration with White Gold Corp. I'm joined today with Cameron Norton. He's our Senior Exploration Geologist. We just want to provide a little bit of background and some context for the news we've released today on the 2021 Ryan Surprise Diamond Drilling Program. So this map basically shows where the Ryan Surprise is relative to the Golden Saddle and Arc deposits, our flagship project. We're about 2 kilometers off to the west of those projects. As you can see, the resources at Golden Saddle and Arc combined, we've got 1.14 million ounces of indicated at 2.28 grams per ton gold, and an additional 400,000 ounces of inferred at about 1.4 grams. So, a good project. We do have another smaller deposit called the VG deposit, which is about 10 to 12 kilometers further north to here. It has a historical resource of 230,000 ounces of gold at 1.65 grams per ton. So really, again, we're working in an area where we have gold resources already identified. You can see the Ryan Surprise and Ulli's Ridge are located along that north-northwest soil geochemical trend. The base map we're showing here is golden soils. So you can see it's one of a number of targets along that trend, which would include the Teachers, the Principal Ridge, and the Minneapolis Creek a little further north. So again, really our focus over the last year or two hasn't been on the deposits themselves. We're really trying to identify new areas of mineralization where we could potentially add ounces to the overall resource base. Okay, so this map, this is a surface drill plan map for the Ryans and northern part of the Ulli's Ridge target area. Gold was first discovered on this target in 2011 by Kinross. They were following up, basically testing underneath one of their trenches that they had done that year. And they had some really encouraging results, 6.34 grams per ton gold over about 6.5 meters. So, some pretty strong results. Kinross really didn't do much with the target after that. We acquired the property in 2017 from Kinross, and really in 2018 began drilling again a little bit each year. Last year we went in with a program, drilled 6 holes for about 1,600 meters. Last year's drilling really returned some nice high-grade intercepts that we were quite happy with. Hole 17 had just about 11 grams over 3.76 meters, and then hole 18 had 8.7 over 12.3. So again, with those grades, more typical of underground, higher grade type material compared to, say, the Golden Saddle and Arc, which is more in the 1.5 to 2.5 gram range open pittable. So again, that really gave us enough encouragement to go back this year with another program. The highlights basically in the blue callouts are previous drill results. I'm not going to go through those, but again, some really strong results from previous drilling. This year, all these brown callouts basically point to this year's work. But really, the drilling this year, the goal was twofold. One was to follow that high grade, both along strike further to the west, as well as down dip. And we were also testing some near surface mineralization just a little further to the southwest in the northernmost portion of the Ulli's Ridge target area. So like I said, really, a two goal approach here. And, we were happy with the results from this year's drilling. Every hole encountered gold mineralization. Some of the highlights would be hole 26, which was the last hole of the program, returned 10.36 grams over 3.25 meters. That was actually the highest grade intercept for the program. But then we also had some broader, lower grade intercepts, more typical of sort of Golden Saddle and Arc. Hole 20 had 25.5 meters of 1.66 grams. So again, good grade for open pit type material. Hole 19, we had 1.88 over 1.80 grams per ton over 15 meters. So again, a good combination of high grade and broader zones of anywhere, say, from 1.5 to 2 gram type material. So, we were really happy with this year's results. When you look at the map here, the overall footprint now of the mineralized zone is somewhere in the order of 400 meters by 400 meters. The mineralization has been traced about 450 meters at depth, and it remains open. So, most of the drilling that's been done so far is exploration drilling, of course, and so the holes are fairly widely spaced. But we see opportunities here for sure. We like the size of the footprint and the size of the mineralizing system, so we'll be continuing to follow up with that. I think I'm going to pass it on to Cam now, because he's got the cross section. Talk a little bit about the interpretation and some of the 3D modeling that we've done.
Thanks, Terry. Yeah, so after the completion of our 2021 drilling program, we took all the data from the previous year's drilling and synthesized it down, and were able to come up with a geological model and interpretation, which we feel does quite a good job of explaining the nature of the mineralization and the zones that we're encountering at the Orion Surprise target. So we can see that underneath the Orion Surprise main zone, we see that we have gold being hosted within a more steeply dipping structure. And this structure here is containing about 1.66 grams per ton over 25.5 meters. So we get some pretty nice broad intersections out of this particular zone. And then more towards the Ulli's Ridge area, the near surface mineralization appears to be dipping a bit more moderately to the south, but also hosting some nice mineralization as well, with grades of approximately 3.66 grams per ton over 6 meters. When we then look at that, the cross-section interpretation in 3D, again, we can just see that we have this more steeply dipping gold-bearing structure underneath our Orion Surprise zone, along with our more moderately dipping structures underneath our Ulli's Ridge target. And we can see from this 3D view as well that both remain open at depth, in particular this more steeply dipping structure, which we look forward to testing as we move forward with future drill programs. Also on this, in this view, we can also see down to the southwest, approximately 500 meters away from the Orion Surprise target, we have our Ulli's Ridge South target, which we conducted some initial preliminary RAB drilling on at the start of the season. And based upon the positive results which we received from that program, and which we recently released at the start of November, we followed that program with a diamond drilling program in the latter months of our field season. We're looking forward to receiving the results of this program in the coming months, as we look to not only expand upon the mineralization at Ulli's Ridge, but moving forward, try to connect these zones and make one broader Orion Surprise zone, which then fits into the broader White Gold district property that we have.
Yeah, so, just to follow up on what Cam just said, we are really encouraged with the results that we saw this year. In the off season, we're going to continue to refine the modeling. We have collected a lot of optical televiewer data for the holes. So, understanding the structure here is key, but we think we've made some really good advances on that this year. And combined with the drilling that we've done at Ulli's, we think we like the picture that's forming here, and we're optimistic that it's going to, represent a really nice target area for us in the future.